Welcome back. All right, so we did an adjective and we did a verb, right? So then it goes from the dog ran down the street. What dog do we want to choose? First one who yells gets it. Ooh, I'm gonna have to look up that dog. Okay, and they didn't run down the street. What'd they do? How did they move? Walked, rushed. What do we like? We're going with the spirit of ran. Fast movement. I like rushed. But that doesn't seem very dog-like. Is that just weird? Does it seem like dog-like to you to rush? I just don't think dogs rush. I don't know. Maybe they do. How about trotted? Or not the street, but Fifth Avenue. Okay. So see how much more information is in that sentence that you edited versus the original shitty first draft. The dog ran down the street. The Shiba Inu trotted down Fifth Avenue. Much more specific, communicates much more information. Even nouns, don't forget the nouns. Be specific with your nouns. So, anybody a cheese fan? Right? So, I went to the store to buy some cheese. What? I didn't just go to the store to buy cheese. What did I go to the store? What kind of cheese? What kind of cheese was I there to buy? You guys tell me. Colby Jack, a good choice. I'm kind of a cheese aficionado also. Words, cheese, I'm fans of both. What else? I like feta. What else? Type your cheese into the chat. Provolone. When you're at the burger restaurant, they're like, what kind of cheese do you want on your burger? What do they offer you in terms of choice? Swiss, yes, that. Cheddar. Mm-hmm. Now they're making everyone hungry. Maybe. If you don't like cheese. I'm sorry if you're lactose intolerant. The older I get, the more intolerant I become to all kinds of food, so I do sympathize. Mozzarella. Yes, that is a good cheese. What is the one my daughter likes? Oh, Cotswold. That's like a cheddar that has little chunks of chives in it. Pepper jack. I like Asiago, but it does not like me. Yes, I still eat it on salads occasionally. Blue, right? So yeah, I didn't just go to the store to buy some cheese. I went there to get some Asiago to make Asiago bread. Nara has very good Asiago bread, which I recommend. If you have not tried it, But basically, if you don't edit for word choice, you're leaving all the colors out of your writing. You're leaving everything that makes it more interesting and descriptive and specific. So I know it feels like you've got all the pages you need written and you really don't want to mess with it anymore, but if you don't, then your writing is just not going to be as good as it could be, right? So these are the things, hopefully, after you flesh out everything you need in terms of information, that you'll start looking at word choice and eliminating the extra words. And we're going to work a lot more on that as we go through class, because that is one of the main things that can improve your writing, is having clear, concise, specific writing. Okay. Any questions about that so far? Good about that so far? And let's talk about how you peer review. Okay. So here are my tips for peer reviewing. Okay. First of all, a lot of times when we start the peer review, everybody's like, I don't know if I know what I'm doing, so how am I going to help anybody else? I understand your concern. However, don't underestimate the value of being the audience. Okay? What this means is the writer knows exactly what they mean, but they may not be clearly communicating that in writing. So they can read a sentence and it tells them worlds more perhaps than it tells us as the audience, right? They might leave out concepts or terms. They may not be specific in their wording. They may not have clearly explained their perspective, which may be different from the judgment we would make on that speech or that debate, right? We don't all think about the world in the same way. Okay, so if they're saying it's obvious because of the pandemic, everybody's more into yoga. Well, it's not obvious to me. Maybe I'm too depressed to do yoga, right? You have to explain many people are looking for stress relief or to get exercise, now that they can't go to the gym. You guys follow me? So the best thing that you can do is number 2, which is after you are the audience on the outside of their head, ask questions, okay? Asking questions is a nice way to help people in a non-threatening way, so you don't just go, that's wrong, and that's wrong, and that's wrong, which you might not feel comfortable doing, and they may not feel comfortable hearing. There's that hesitation there. So a less threatening way to do that is to ask questions. Okay. Then, once you ask those questions, you can please write or comment on the paper. Give them written comments to take with them, because they may not be able to go in and revise right away. So they may forget some of the things that you talked about if you don't actually write them down. Okay. So insert comments, maybe highlight stuff you think they should look at. You can help them say, I think you could use a better word here. Just take the highlighter and highlight it for them and say, these are some words, that you might want to take a look at and make better. Okay. Then, I forgot to put number 5 on here. Okay, I'll get to number 5. Discuss your reactions to the writing, because a lot of times, even though you'll ask questions on the draft, once you start discussing it with someone, I was just going over a paper with a student yesterday, and then she was talking about the yoga, and she was doing a business analysis of a company that sells yoga equipment. And I'm like, do they have a channel where they do online yoga classes? And she's like, oh yeah, they do. I should probably put that in here. And I'm like, So sometimes having the discussion can pull out information that would be valuable to go into the paper. So, that sort of helps elicit more information that would help them revise it and flesh it out. Okay. And my number 5, which I forgot to be on here, is please don't pick on their spelling, grammar, and punctuation right now. Because that's like easy, right? They weren't worried about it. I told them not to worry about it. So it's easy for you to pick on it because they probably have mistakes, right? So in this case, because we're worried about the big picture items, we don't necessarily want to make sure the comma's in the right place for a sentence that may or may not be there at the end. Okay. Now, if they ask you for help or advice, or you can suggest commas or things like that, but your main focus is going to be pulling out information and making sure explanations are clear. Ask for an example if you would like one. Okay. So these are my tips. Focus on what they're saying instead of how they're saying it right now. Okay. Help them add those descriptions, the explanations. Okay. And the examples. Questions about how to go about peer reviewing. Okay, we're good so far. Now, I'm going to put you in breakout rooms with several other people, probably about 5 people per room. I'd like you to read at least 2 drafts, cover letter and resume for each person. Okay, so you look at basically 2 cover letters, 2 resumes, give them feedback, talk to them. Okay, for the rest of class, that's what we're going to be working on, and I will be here. So, like, if you have a question, I will answer them. And the last 10 minutes, we'll stop at like 9:40. I will pull you guys out of the breakout room, see if you have any questions. People can hang back and ask me things if some stuff came up during the peer review that they want to ask about. Okay. So here are the instructions. You review for each other. So you can either email or share your document. So remember, I showed you guys, if you have a document here in Word, you can hit the share button and type in the email address, and then you guys can both be looking at it at the same time if you wish. Or you can let them look at it while you're working on somebody else's. Okay? Peer review for 2 people. Okay? Make comments on the drafts. And after you're done, discuss the writing with them. Your overall kind of impressions of it. And I will broadcast this to the whole group after I put you in your groups. So you'll have this. Everybody's clear? You're going to peer review for 2 people. Okay, at least, if you have time, great. You can do more. You'll make comments on the drafts that they can take with them and use. And then you'll discuss the writing with them in case you can pull out any other information that they might want to put in or add to their qualifications. Any questions about what we're going to work on? All right, and I'm going to put you in the breakout rooms. And then about 10 minutes before, I'll pull everybody out and see if you guys need anything or have any questions you want to ask. How many people we have? So let's do 4 groups. Groups 3. Okay. And I will check back in with you guys at 9:40. You guys can talk to each other.
I got one. We're getting there.
Hey, how early? Wait, what do you mean one?
Mine are in separate files because I
Oh,
don't know if
okay.
it's
I was
in
like,
two files.
I didn't make two covers.
Hey,
No,
ladies.
no.
Sorry to interrupt you. I saw that there were only two of you in this room. For some reason, a couple people haven't joined. So I asked you to do 2 peer reviews. So since you're in here on your own, it may be hard to contact other students right now. So just go ahead and do the peer reviews for each other and don't worry about the other one.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll leave you alone now. I just wanted to let you know in case you were like, who else am I supposed to peer review for?
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Cole or Christian, are you there?